Hello and welcome to Formula Basics, Operators, Order of Operation. You will open the Formula Basics Excel spreadsheet and follow along with the attached video. This is a great resource to refer to later on. Go ahead and enable the editing. And if you notice, there's a dividing line under row 5. And what happens there is if I were to go into A6 and use my down arrow, and I keep going all the way down, row 6 is going to tuck under 5. So they're all tucking under, so that row 1 through 5 will always remain visible. That's called freeze pane, and we'll do this later on in other modules. Just to show you where it is, it's in View, and it's right here, freeze pane, so that you'll always see rows 1 through 5. So what we're going to do here is look at operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and exponents. Up here the values, there's a label. X will be represented with the value of 2, Y will be 4, and Z will be 6. Now I have the answer here, X plus Y, so X plus Y, 2 plus 4 is 6. And instead of typing in the numbers, you're typing in the cell location. So it's actually C3 plus C4. So we're actually going to do these. You can see if you ever wanted to peek at what is the formula for to get the answer. If yours comes out wrong, you could take a peek at it. But we're going to manually try them ourselves. So the first thing you need to always do when you're creating a formula in Excel is start with the equal sign. And then I will click, so it's X, which is 2, C3, plus key on the number keypad, and then it's plus Y, which is C4. And then press Enter. So it's correct. Next one, always start with your equal sign, and it's X minus, on the number keypad, Z, which is C5, and Enter. And that is -4, correct. The next one for multiplication, which is the asterisk on the number pad above the number 9, or if you're using above the letters, you must also press the Shift 8 to get the asterisk for multiplication. So this one, start with equals, and it's Y, which is C4, asterisk, and it's times X, which is C3. And this is the commutative properties, where you could multiply X times Y or Y times X, and it's going to be the same answer. Same thing as with addition. 2 plus 4 is the same as 4 plus 2. We should have 8. Next is division. So again, we start with equals, and it's going to be C5. Division is above the 8, or to the right of the M on the keyboard, and we're dividing by C4. The next one is exponents, and this one is equals, and it's Y to the power of X, so Y is C4, and that is the shift caret, which is the 6, and to the power of X, 2, so 4 times 4, and that should be 16. So now we're going to come down to row 16, and again you have all your answers in here. We want to add X plus Y plus Z, and there's two ways you could do this. We could click the press the equals, and I could click the X plus the Y plus the Z, and I will get the same answer, 12. But it's not as efficient as this one, where it's the sum of the range C3 to C5. Especially if this was a lot of information, a lot of data, you wouldn't want to have to key in all of C3 through C203. So what you'd want to do is have a range. So on this one, I'm going to go up to Home, and I'm going to click the Auto Sum feature, and then I want to select the 3 cells, X, Y, and Z, and it should be equal sum C3 colon, which means through C5, and you get 12. There is not a subtraction feature similar to the sum feature, so we just have to do that manually. So we'll start with equals Z minus y minus x. Okay, row 18, what we want to do here, you're going to take the z, which is 6, and you're going to subtract y minus x. So just like order of operations, it'll do inside the parentheses first and then outside. Again, you would start with the equal sign, and we'll click C5 minus, you need to manually type the parentheses, y minus z, close the parentheses, so it'll do 4 minus 2 first, and then it will subtract from C5, and you should get 4. Now in this one, the formula is incorrect, and I just wanted to show you. This is what we want to do. You want to add z plus y, then you also want to separately do 2 times x, 2 times 2, right, would be 4. But then you want to divide both those separate answers. So if you look in here, this was incorrect because it's not doing them separately, it's doing it all across. And if you were actually following this in the order of operations, you would have taken the C4 divided by the 2, then times C3, then add to the C5, and that's where you came up with 10. So you actually want to separate these. And to separate them, you peek down here, this is one way of doing it here, but we're going to do it another way. So we'll go into D21. So for this one, we'll start with the equals, and we want to separate the two problems, so you need to have your parentheses. So open parentheses, z is C5 plus C4, close the parentheses, that's the top part of it. What we're going to do is divide, so go ahead and press the division symbol. Now the second part of the math problem, so open parentheses, 2 times the x, which is C3, close parentheses. So you're doing them separately and then dividing them whole, and you should get 2.5. So this is the same steps, but it's not broken up separately. So it is correct, but it's more it's easier to understand when you see them completely separate rather than here, because you would do you would add inside the parentheses first, and then divide by 2, and then divide by 3. So it does come out the same answer, but in this variation, you can see they're 2 separate, and then you divide by the 2. So it's just different ways to work with the operators and creating formulas. So this is a good one to hold on to for as a resource for later on. Thank you.